and do it. While you're here, you will be educated, but not just in the classroom and not just in your field of expertise. Our mission at Georgia Tech is to educate for life. If you embrace the opportunities available to you here, you will find yourself with a new and powerful lifelong love of learning, a commitment to take risks through leadership, and an integrity that will carry you wherever you wish to go. You will be challenged here. You would not be here today if you did not want to be challenged. We will give you opportunities to lead and serve. We will force you outside your comfort zone into terrifying and exciting world of innovation and ingenuity. I like to tell incoming undergraduates that their years pursuing a bachelor's degree are meant for an exploration of the self. That is the time to find your voice. But whatever your stage in life is now, I hope you have found your voice, because here, as a graduate student at the Georgia Institute of Technology, you will be challenged to use it. You will be challenged to showcase your identity, to follow your passions, to relentlessly pursue your projects. You will own your successes, and you will own your failures. I hope there will be a balance of both successes and failures for each of you. This is how you stretch and grow. This is how you become a leader among your peers and a leader for life. The ability to lead fearlessly in an ever-changing future will be one of the most valuable skills you can get here at Georgia Tech. No doubt you have already had advice about leadership from various books and speakers over the years. Please indulge me while I add some advice of my own. First, be honest. Be honest to those around you, but most importantly, be honest about who you are and what you want to do in life and in your time here at Georgia Tech. Your academic abilities and hard work have gotten you this far. Be honest with others. That gives you will have a future. Second, have integrity. Georgia Tech alumnus Bill George, successful leader and author, writes about developing an inner compass that helps steer you with temptation, when temptation and difficult decisions arise. And they will. Behaving with integrity in all you do is not an option, it is an imperative. Integrity is absolute and will touch your academic and personal relationships. You must find your inner compass. And finally, cultivate empathy. The strength of a large and diverse campus, such as the one we have, is found not in the mass uniformity of cheering for the same football team, but in the honest empathy and respect that live in the spaces between different people. You will be working with people who are different from you, and that is a very good thing. It is an excellent thing. Learn from your differences. Be civil in disagreements, and try to understand the mindset of the others you encounter. Georgia Tech is experiencing an incredible momentum, and it is a really exciting time to be here. Like President Peterson, as he retires and joins the faculty, and just as our incoming president, Dr. Cabrera, prepares to join us, you have ended one chapter and are starting a new one. There are many challenges and rewards ahead, and we will be here every step of the way with you. Before I go, let me give you a few suggestions to make your graduate journey at Georgia Tech smooth and enjoyable. Work hard, very hard. Manage your time and seek help when you need it. I'll repeat that. Manage your time and seek help when you need it. Get to know your professors and show them a student who is committed to learning. Ask questions, get answers, and then ask more questions. Find what you want to change in the world, then figure out how to make it happen. We have the resources to make your research a reality. Go forth and figure out how to make the world a better place. Don't be tied down to one idea either. Try new things, and do not be afraid to fail. Failure is success that shows what does not work. You are the privileged few who have the intelligence, discipline, and drive to pursue graduate education at one of the best universities in the world. We are proud to have you here. We are here for you, and we want you to succeed, and you will. Congratulations. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Bonnie Ferry, the Vice Provost for Graduate Education and Faculty Development, and today's mace bearer.
Welcome. As the Vice Provost for Graduate Education and Faculty Development, I oversee the Office of Graduate Studies. You first met us during your application for graduate school, and then this past couple of weeks for the orientation sessions. You'll see us again as you prepare to graduate. But I want you to know that the Office of Graduate Studies is a resource for you throughout your entire time at Georgia Tech. We offer programs such as grad groups and professional development and career services. We also help the Student Government Association to run the Career, Research, and Innovation Career Conference and the Graduate Career Fair. Our goal is to ensure your success, both during your time here and after you move on to your professional career. We know from industry, government organizations, and our own experience in academia that you'll need more than classroom knowledge and research skills to thrive in your professional careers. You'll need to be able to communicate your accomplishments and your work to people from a broad range of backgrounds. There'll be people who ask, "What are you researching?" Or, "Tell me about a project you're working on." This might be another student, a family member, maybe even your own grandmother. Or else, it'll likely be a prospective employer, or perhaps someone interested in funding your work. To best articulate your research and its impact, it is incredibly important for you to develop your elevator pitch. For MS thesis and PhD students, we call it a 3-minute thesis. We run an annual competition and hold workshops to train students to condense their thesis work, to put it in a broader context, and communicate its impact. We will be hearing from Francisco Quintero Cortez, a PhD student in material science and engineering, who participated in last year's 3MT competition with a presentation he calls Solid Lithium Batteries and How to Deal with a Diva. As he's talking, see if you can notice 3 features. He will tell you why the topic is important. He will describe his work in a way that you, as a broad audience, can understand. And he'll be engaging enough to hold your attention. He gave this presentation as part of a competition. But please picture yourself 2 or 3 or 4 years in the future, giving your own elevator pitch to your colleagues and future employers. It is my pleasure to introduce Francisco Quintero Cortez to give his 3MT presentation.
When was the last time you charged your phone? Last night? This morning? Okay, maybe you need to charge it now. Have you ever wondered why you need to charge it so often? Or what can we do to make the charge last longer? I'm going to try to answer those questions, and don't worry, the answer is not to stop watching YouTube videos or playing Pokemon Go. The answer comes from within, the battery. Let's have a look at how a battery works. A battery is made of 3 components, a negative side, a positive side, and a liquid in the middle. What happens inside the battery when you use your phone is like a game. Tiny lithium balls move from one side to the other through the liquid in the middle. Now, why do I have to charge my phone every day? The reason is the negative side. You can think of it as the source of lithium balls. The more lithium balls you have, the longer the charge will last. The negative side of the battery in your phone is made of the same material as the tip of a pencil. It can only keep enough lithium balls for one day. If you had pure lithium instead, you would have 10 times more lithium balls. So you need to charge your phone every 10 days instead of every day. But it's not so simple. Pure lithium is the star of the battery game, but it's also a big, problematic diva. When you put it in contact with the liquid, the battery will explode. Now, to fix that, we replace the liquid with a solid. But pure lithium is a big, problematic diva. When you put it in contact with the solid will start changing and even break. How to deal with this diva? Here is where my thesis comes in. My strategy to deal with the diva is to put a mediator between pure lithium and the solid. This mediator is a material that remains unchanged before the strong personality of pure lithium. Using this strategy, we found a material that actually works. No explosions, no cracks, 10 times more charge. Soon, when someone asks you, when was the last time you charged your phone, the answer will not be so obvious. Thank you.
Thank you, Francisco. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Graduate SGA President Narayan Shirolkar.
Thank you, President Peterson. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to see you all here at the second graduate convocation at Georgia Tech. And to all our fellow grad students who are watching this online, we are excited to welcome you to the Georgia Tech family, too. You took a giant leap into the next phase of your life when you accepted Georgia Tech's offer. For some of you, it was coming to grad school straight out of college. Some of you may have left a well-paying job. Some of you were serving in the military. Some of you have traveled across the globe for the very first time to come to the United States, to come to Georgia Tech. Regardless of your background, this is a pretty giant leap for you. And talking about giant leaps, we are celebrating 50 years of the Apollo 11 mission this year. And the space nerd in me can't help but quote President Kennedy. When he gave that historic speech from Rice University in 1961, he said, "We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon and do the other things, not because it is easy, but because it is hard." I'd like to reimagine those lines and say, you chose to come to Georgia Tech. We chose to come to Georgia Tech, not because it was easy, but because it was going to be hard. And Georgia Tech will not disappoint you. It is going to be hard. The next few years at Tech will challenge the way you think, the way you learn, the way you analyze things around you. It will challenge your ability to walk straight without bumping into undergrads riding all sorts of vehicles on the sidewalks. It might take you a while to get used to it, but that's okay. It will ultimately bring out the best in you. At the same time, Georgia Tech will offer you with ample opportunities. In fact, more opportunities than you could ever take advantage of. You could use these to either hone your skills and become better at what you're already doing, or even pivot into a totally new career. The choice is yours. The key is being involved on campus. Join SGA, run to be a senator for your school, and help us better advocate for graduate students. Elections are open now. You could learn a new sport, learn to dance, or even learn to fly with the flying club. In fact, skydiving was a highlight of my first year in grad school. If you want to meet people from similar cultural backgrounds, you could join a cultural organization. If there isn't one for you, you can always start one. The point is, try to find an activity that interests you and pursue it. That's a great way to meet new people, build new relationships, and really experience what it means to be a student at Georgia Tech. And that brings me to my final point, the graduate student community. Georgia Tech grad students are extremely involved on campus, from departmental orgs that are advocating on issues specific to each school, to institute and government-level advocacy with SGA, second plug. Every time I'm meeting someone new on this campus, I'm learning something new about Georgia Tech. The opportunities are endless, and it's up to you how you want to make the best use of your time here. Don't hesitate to seek help from your fellow students, faculty members, and staff. We are committed to improving your experience. That's part of the reason why we started this event for graduate students last year. It is why we're hosting more than 2,000 graduate students and their family members here today. We want you to experience that we are one Georgia Tech. We really hope that this event truly marks the start of this new phase in your life. So once again, welcome to Georgia Tech, and I really hope that you immerse yourself in the Georgia Tech experience for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hopefully not more than 6 years. And in the spirit of community building, I'm gonna leave y'all with a question, and I hope you know the answer to this by now. What's the good word? Thank you, and go Jackets.
Thank you, Narayan. While you were speaking, George P. Burdell sent me a text and said that he'd planned to come to join us, but unfortunately got held up and won't be able to be here. If you don't know who George P. Burdell is, you'll soon learn. And if you attend Tea Night this coming Sunday, you'll learn about, at Grant Field, you'll have an opportunity to learn about him and some of the other great Georgia Tech traditions. But you'll also have ample time to do that during the remaining years here at Georgia Tech. This is the second annual graduate student convocation that we've held here at Georgia Tech. For many years, Georgia Tech has had a tradition of welcoming first-year and transfer students at the new student convocation each fall. But last year, we started a new tradition by welcoming graduate students with their own event. Immediately following this event this afternoon, we'll have the graduate student picnic for you and your guests on the Tech Green. Graduate student convocation was conceived with the help of our graduate students associated with the Campus Culture Action Team created a couple of years ago. They let us know that providing more information that was specific to graduate students would make them feel more welcome when they arrived here at Georgia Tech and enhance their experience. The graduate students who offered feedback said that they wanted to feel more connected to Tech and to the community here at Georgia Tech. We heard that message and it made great sense, so here we are today. And we're glad that you're here with us and look forward to helping you realize your full potential and the great promise that each of you has inside of you. More often than not, it's through opportunities presented during college that students begin to craft their own vision for their personal future, not just for themselves, but also for the future of our society. At Georgia Tech, we're a community of diverse people. We come together to accomplish extraordinary things, ranging from service projects with the Metro Atlanta community to the National Martin Luther King holiday, to diverse interdisciplinary teams that develop breakthroughs in healthcare, IT, engineering, science, the humanities, and numerous other areas. Georgia Tech graduate students have the opportunity to work alongside some of the best researchers as their own personal mentors. If you did your undergraduate work or previous graduate study here at Georgia Tech, you know that Tech is always looking ahead. The Commission on Creating the Next, launched by Provost Raphael Bross, has conducted extensive research and explored innovative approaches to higher education that are addressing the changes and changing needs of learners in today's society. This includes in ways to improve the effectiveness, increase access, reduce costs, and meet the needs of a developing workforce today and well into the future. Today, graduates can no longer earn just a bachelor's degree, or in some cases even a master's and PhD, and expect to be educated for a lifetime. Their lifetime educational needs may well require additional credentials beyond their original educational accomplishments and achievements. The possibilities are endless and will be limited only by your own imagination and your own individualized educational needs and career demands. To give you an example of how we're creating the next, in 2014, the Institute was the first to offer an online master's in computer science. The OMS CS program has grown from an early first cohort of 380 students to a cohort today of more than 8,600 students. In 2017, Georgia Tech launched the online Master of Science degree in Analytics, or OMS Analytics as we call it. And in August of 2018, the Institute announced its third at-scale master's degree program, the Online Masters of Science in Cybersecurity. Largely due to the growth of these online programs, the number of graduate students enrolled here at Georgia Tech now equals and slightly exceeds the number of undergraduate students. In the 1980s, under the leadership of then Georgia Tech President Joseph Pettit, the Institute began to focus on research in graduate education. Today, the annual R&D sponsored activity expenditures were $908 million, and this year will exceed $1 billion. Our graduate program is strong. It's strong because we're able to attract people like you who will help us make it even stronger. Georgia Tech students have been part of teams that have discovered liquid water on Mars, detected gravitational waves from the first time from deep space, served as flight controller for the Cassini spacecraft mission to Saturn, built the first ever spacecraft on our campus that will fly in space, and experimented with NASA to test solar panels on the planet Jupiter. Graduate students developing processes and techniques for ensuring the consistent, low-cost, large-scale manufacturing of high-quality living cells used in cell-based therapies for a variety of disorders, including cancer, neurodegenerative diseases, and autoimmune disorders. In short, Georgia Tech graduate students are changing the world even before earning their graduate degrees. These are just a sample of the kinds of opportunities that will be available to each and every one of you. But with opportunity comes responsibility. At Georgia Tech, ethics is a top priority. It's paramount that each of us here on campus and as part of our campus community realize our role in maintaining the public trust as we utilize federal, state, and philanthropic resources to fulfill our mission of education, research, public service, and economic development. When you leave Georgia Tech, you will have important decisions to make about your future. We hope that the knowledge that you have gained and the expertise that you've developed during your time here at Georgia Tech will enable you to be successful in whatever field you choose. Our commitment to you is that Georgia Tech will partner with you to help you reach your fullest academic and professional goals. You're about to embark on an exciting and challenging journey, and we wish you all the best. In closing, I'd like to remind all our new and current graduate students, as well as our guests, that you are invited to the graduate student picnic at the Tech Green immediately following this ceremony. At this time, the members of the Georgia Tech Glee Club will lead us in the alma mater, followed immediately by the faculty recessional. The audience is requested to stand and remain standing as the platform party recesses, and then I invite all of you to join in the singing of the nation's best-known fight song, Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech. Thank you for your attention this afternoon. Good luck and safe journeys.
O sons of Tech, arise, behold. The banner as it two shall forever fly. Ramblin' wreck, ramblin' wreck, ramblin' wreck, ramblin' wreck, ramblin' wreck, ramblin' wreck, ramblin', ramblin', ramblin'. I'm a ramblin' wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. A hell of a wreck from Georgia Tech. Like rolling delegate bellows, I drink my whiskey clear. I'm a ramblin' wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. Remember I had a daughter, say I dress her in white and gold, and rode her on the campus to cheer the brave men bold. But if I had a son, sir, I tell you what he'd do. He would yell, "To hell with Georgia!" like his daddy used to do. I wish I had a barrel of rum and sure 3,000 pounds, a college belt to put it in, and clapper to stir it around. I drink to all good fellows who come from far and near. I'm a rambling, gambling, hell of an engineer.